Here we are on the passenger side of a 2010 Honda Accord, and you can see I've got the passenger side temp blend door actuator laying here on the floor, along with a couple of flashlights, a ratchet, and a 7mm socket. That's really all the tools I'm going to need here to replace this. So this car actually has dual temp control, so the passenger can control their own temperature, warmer, colder, whatever they need it to be. However, the actuator is faulty on this particular one. So we can see I've got my new actuator here. I'm going to avoid the temptation to do what we refer to as swing hang, which a lot of technicians will actually plug this thing in and let it hang and then drive it from hot to cold. Well, what happens there is quite often these are self-calibrating, and so it has to find where the end stops are. Now, if you do this with it's just free hanging here, it could severely damage the unit. So it's important that we do not plug it in until it's actually installed on the vehicle, and then we're ready to run the test. So you can see I've got the new actuator here. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to kind of move the camera underneath the dash here a little bit, and really one of the first things we need to do is remove this trim panel. So excuse the darkness, but really all I have to do is use a little bit of pressure. There's just a couple clips holding this in place, and I can slide this up out of the way. Now you can see the blower motor resistor, and then over to the side we have our blend door actuator. So there's our actuator right there. Now the connector's on the back side of it, and there's just 4 screws holding it in place. We can actually use a Phillips head screwdriver there. However, I find it a little bit easier, get a little better movement by using my ratchet with a 7mm socket. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this unit. We're going to make sure the door actually moves properly with it off there before we install our new blend door actuator. All right, you can see that I've got the old unit out. Simply remove the 4 bolts. Now once it drops down, I can release the electrical connector, and simple as that. Now, as I mentioned, I need to go up in there and verify that the door itself actually moves. So you can see the lever right here. I can hear it hit. I can hear it hit there. So we've got really free travel throughout the range of this door here. Not sure why the original one failed. However, it's out of here. So now I need to line up the peg on my new unit and install it in the slot on the door here. So I'll put it in there, get it bolted in place, plug it in, and test this unit out. All right, I've gone ahead and replaced the passenger side temperature blend door actuator here. Got it plugged back in. You can hear the fan blowing. Got it in place. And now I'm going to run it through the range of motion here. And so you can see the actuator moving by looking at the placement of the white arm behind it there. So see, as I go from hot to cold, you can see the white arm move again there, indicating that our actuator is in fact doing the job. So hopefully now you understand what it takes to replace the passenger side blend door actuator. And I'll tell you, as a guy that spent many years underneath the dash of a lot of vehicles, these Hondas, all the actuators are actually pretty easy to access. I know in a lot of different manufacturers you actually have to remove the entire dash assembly. This one's pretty straightforward, and we can get some of the other ones. You can kind of see the connectors up above. Even the driver's side one is very accessible from near the throttle pedal assembly. Hopefully now you understand what it takes to replace one of these actuators, and good luck.